Channel 5 Network. This is Morning Line.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Morning Line. Nick Barris here on a Wednesday. I'll tell you what, Tennessee right now is a good place to come and find a job, to work, and to make a living. I mean, it's a great state anyway, but boy, I guess the landscape right now for finding jobs is, dare I say, as good as it's ever been. And you know, we're going to get into the situation with unemployment, jobs, the economy, and the like. We can take some of your phone calls if you're wondering, you know, where are the best jobs, where to find them, and how to go about doing that. If you're thinking of a career change, or if you're someone right now just looking for work, today's the show you'll want to join. 737-7587. You can call in as you see Tennessee unemployment rates and workforce services with us to talk about. Folks, it's their job to pay attention to this at the state level, and the commissioner of the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development, Burns Phillips, is here. Good morning, Nick. Sir. You're one of my favorite commissioners. You know, a lot of these commissioners at the state level, you know what? They're grumps. Okay, they can be quite effective at what they do, but I personally don't like spending much time with them. This guy's the exception to the rule. You are a very nice man.
Well,
I like you, and I just do. And he's been coming on for a long time, and he's a big shot, so I appreciate it. And you brought a guest with you this morning. Deniece Thomas is with us. She's a Workforce Services Assistant Administrator.
That's correct.
Thank you for coming on this morning.
He's
a good guy, isn't he?
He's an excellent guy.
If you're his friend, you're my friend. So, well, I know one reason you're glad to come on today, and you always come on regardless of how things are going economically here, good or bad sometimes, but there's some good news to report, as we have reported recently.
Absolutely.
What, the unemployment rate, okay, just I'll let you tell us what it's at, but I mean, it's the first time in the history of Tennessee the state unemployment rate has been this low?
Yes, 3.6%.
Really? Okay, now that's a good rate. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's ahead of, is that ahead now of the national average right now? Is it, where do we stay?
The national is 4.4, I think. 4.
Okay, 4, something
4,
like that.
Yeah. So we are ahead, and in the southeast, there's only one state that is lower than we are, and that's Arkansas. For whatever reason, slightly less. But this speaks to Governor Haslam's goal to be the leading state for jobs in the southeast.
Essentially, what that number means is there are fewer unemployed folks in the state than ever before. Does it mean there's more people working than ever before? How do you view it?
Well, there are more people working. But you look at the workforce, which are the number of people who are working and looking for work.
Okay.
So
that's where you get the ratio.
That's right. And so yes, there are more people working, and it's understandable. Tennessee is a very vibrant place to be. The economy. You can just look around town. You can see all the construction that's happening. People are moving in from out of state. And we have been able to set up tools under the blessings of the governor that make it easier for people to find jobs and to connect people with businesses, and that connectivity is extremely important.
Yeah, well, and you hit it on the head. I was wondering at this time, now I don't know about the whole state, but I mean Nashville is booming, and you know I was just working on a story downstairs where they're saying like 100 people move here every week or something like that, okay? And that's way far more than the folks leaving this area, and yet we're still able to accommodate them economically with jobs. That's one reason I assume they're coming. Now, I don't know if it's the same as much, you know, in East Tennessee or West Tennessee, but here we're accommodating these folks that are moving here, aren't we?
Well, we are, and it really is a statewide phenomenon. Of course, in the metro areas, of course, they're up, and especially Nashville, but Tennessee in general is experiencing a lot of economic boom because of the new businesses and industries that have come here. And of course they come here because they have evaluated the workforce, and they have a lot of faith in the workforce and the work ethic of the people in Tennessee. And you know, we've been very fortunate to have a governor who understands teamwork and collaboration, and one of the reasons that the state is doing well is because of the collaboration between, at least in our world, between TBR, Economic and Community Development, and ourselves. We work sort of like a three-legged stool, if you will, to provide workers to the industries that come here.
All right, so I guess just this week, Governor Haslam says here announced 1,000 new jobs for Bledsoe County. Okay, that's southeast Tennessee, and that's probably one of those counties that didn't have a ton of jobs or needed this, and it brings that in. All right, so attracting new jobs. Okay, How's he doing that? Is it at what cost in terms of incentives? Is it also just building up and having attractive education systems? What's working in here?
Well, I think there are a lot of factors, and one being that when businesses come to Tennessee or look at Tennessee to move here, they're also looking at the living that can be afforded their families, schools, recreation, things of that nature. Tennessee has an awful lot of that, but really it's a combination. You can't put your finger on any specific one. It's a combination of the programs that the governor's put in effect in terms with education. It's also because of what we do as a department with workforce development, and of course ECD has done a fantastic job bringing new businesses to the state. And so Tennessee is just a very attractive place to be for anybody who wants to come to the state. And we also have, we've spoken before about Jobs for TN,
right?
That website. And so people from out of state can go to that, which is a workforce hub, and find out an awful lot about Tennessee before they ever make the decision to move.
Right.
And so that also contributes to.
Yeah, what else does, I mean, and maybe Deniece can talk to this, you know, workforce services then, specifically, I know that website. What are you doing then to help folks find these jobs? And I guess there's fewer people looking, but they're still coming and needing help, aren't they, the ones that are out there?
Absolutely. I think a lot of folks are connecting with the website and finding employment successfully. There are individuals that still are not quite sure how to navigate the world of work, and they need additional assistance with either finding a job or acquiring the skills to meet the industry demand.
Right.
And that's where the magic really happens behind the scenes in our department is, you know, under the workforce development umbrella, we take these individuals, assess them, determine what their interests and skills are existing, and try to align that with what industry needs are.
So how do they come to you again? Because I know you got, is there an office still over there in Metro Center? Yeah, you go in, you know, and so, and by the way, so these could be folks looking for a career change, they could be folks who have lost their jobs, could be folks just getting started maybe in the workforce?
Absolutely, all facets.
And so they come into some of, what do they call those centers?
The American Job Centers.
Okay, the American Job Center. So they'll come in there, and then the staff there, I mean, I know you were real busy during the tough economy, you know, several years back, 10 years ago, but now they come in, they get an assessment.
Yes.
And then there's a listing of jobs already that you could maybe place them with or at least put them in touch with?
That's correct. And so if there's an opportunity to make the connection immediately with a vacancy and their skill set, that happens. If not, then there's an opportunity to perhaps send them to our TBR system to get additional education, training, or certifications so they're more competitive in the workforce. And that happens quite often. And we partner a lot, as Commissioner stated, with TBR. We get a federal allocation of funds to support those training initiatives for job seekers, and so roughly 65 to 70% of that goes to the TCATs and or community colleges in our state. So we keep reinvesting in workforce development, which is very powerful.
As blue collar and white collar?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a mixed bag. I mean,
it's
you name
it.
It's and sometimes retraining. If you're blue collar and you have an interest in going into something else where you're going to be more at a desk, that can be done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And if you look at Jobs for TN, in the last 12 months, we had 6.5 million sessions, if you will. In other words, people who came to the website and to gather information or take advantage of some of the education or training opportunities that are there. And 1.5 million of those were unique. So these are people, some of these people are people, as I said earlier, out of state looking to Tennessee to see what we have to offer. So it's a very active site, and it is the hub of workforce development and everything that we do. It's an integrated site, as we're talking, you know, workforce development and unemployment insurance and adult ed, they're all integrated now, which is unique.
Yeah, which is great. It's working, isn't it? So let's take a quick call before we go to the first break, since we have some callers. And again, the number is 737-7587 if you want to join in the talk about jobs. And let's go to Rhonda. Hi, Rhonda.
Hey.
Hey.
Good morning. My daughter, she's 23, and she just got laid off the 1st of June. And the company she was with, she was there since she was 18. I'm just wondering if she would be able to draw unemployment and go back to school at the same time.
Okay. So, and how long did she work there?
About 5 years.
Okay, and she was laid off, and it was laid off, and she, well, yeah, she can apply for unemployment, right?
No, absolutely.
Right, and she can go to school while she's applying. Well, and that's the trick. Now, part of the thing, and that's a good question, if she's collecting unemployment, one of the criteria is that you're looking for another job, right? So if she wants to go to school, how does she juggle that?
You're required to do job searches, which means you have to be looking for a job, and you have to be able and available. In other words, you have to be able to work and available to work.
Okay, so so that would mean if she wants to go back to school and she goes full time and she's not looking, then she would sacrifice her unemployment?
She would, if she's on unemployment, she has to be looking for work.
Okay. All right, and if a job came along and she said, no, I can't take it because I'm full time at school?
Well, then she would just not be available.
Okay, and so would that take away the unemployment?
It would.
Yeah, so that's the bottom line on that. Does that make sense to you, Rhonda? If she goes back to school, she can't collect unemployment unless she's willing to take a job. Now, if she could do both, go to school and take a new job, but then she'll lose the unemployment. You see what I'm saying?
So if she goes to the jobs for Tennessee, is it .gov?
Yeah.
Give her some training or something if she needs it.
Yeah, and they could go there. You're saying that she might want to go back to school to get additional training for a new job, is what you're thinking, right?
Right.
Okay, so and that's always a great option, going back to school. But if she came to one of these centers and was interested in getting some type of retraining, if you found a match, how do you do that?
So we would do a couple of things. One, we would start with simply where she is and have her go through the application process for unemployment insurance. If she successfully receives unemployment insurance, it makes her a dislocated worker, which would qualify her for additional education and training. Okay. And that's the beauty of having an integrated system. And so she could do both. And I know it's a tough go to sometimes juggle both of those, but again, it would allow her to earn income while she's getting subsequent skills to help her get a better job, to hopefully avoid dislocation in the future. Yeah. So we can really accommodate her on both sides.
Okay. Well, listen, stick with us, Rhonda. We have to take a break, and as we get to the end of the show, we'll give you some information on how you can contact and have your daughter go check out at one of these centers. As we said, there's one over here at Metro Center. I don't know where she was calling from, but maybe there's a number we can get that we can give out at the end of the show that'll give folks an idea where to get that info. Let's take a break. When we come back, more of your phone calls, more of our conversation with Commissioner Phillips and Deniece Thomas on jobs and Tennessee unemployment. And it's good news in the state right now. If you want a job, the odds are you're going to be able to find one. We'll be back right after this.
An asteroid will hit the